Happy Saturday, everybody. Josh here with On the Wrong Lead. Another episode of You've Gotta Be Sha Tinning Me. I am joined, as always, by Mr. Matt Carlson. Matt, how you doing, my friend?
Doing pretty well. Recovering from the Thanksgiving hangover a little bit here, and ate a little too much, drank a little too much, probably bet a little too much. Tis the season though. So
Yeah, I had a good Thanksgiving. We went to my mom's house, and yeah, I've had just a freaking busy week, man. I had two um two real busy days of work, and then Wednesday I'm trying to get some stuff done before before the week's over for me, and power goes out like while I'm in the middle of something, and I probably lost like 2 hours of work, and I'm just like I lost 2 hours of work because the power went out and I wasn't able to save everything I was doing. And I haven't just had the heart to log back in and see what has been saved. Because by the time the power came back up, I had to head out to the Hawks game. So I went to the Blackhawks game on Wednesday. That was fun. And then Thursday, obviously, was Thanksgiving. And then yesterday, we did something that we haven't done in years, and that was participate in some type of Black Friday beer stuff. So 9, or we headed out around 9 o'clock in the morning. We took a train downtown, took an Uber over to um, Goose Island, and they were doing a basically just like come buy the beer, come taste the lineup and everything. And so we went, and I was able to get a bottle of King Henry, which was the bottle I was kind of um, I was kind of like I guess I don't know if upset's the right word, but I was a little um, I was a little peeved because I really kind of wanted to be able to get a bottle of it, and we weren't able to get it during the prop day thing. They had like an extra ticket that basically got you a bottle of it, and they didn't have we it sold out. But anyways, I was lucky. I was able to get a bottle, so that was nice. And my wife is like, "Here, it's your Christmas gift." Like she's like buy. She's basically like buy whatever bottles you want. That's your Christmas gift. And um, so I bought that. I bought another bottle of reserve, and I bought some regular. So I have the full allotment for this year. And we were able to taste a couple. We probably had about three pours while we were there, and then we the plan was just to go there and leave and come home. But my wife was feeling good. She's like, "Let's go to Cruz Blanca," which is another brewery. But they have food there, so we went over there. We got tacos and had a beer there. And then she's like, "Let's go to Revolution." So we Ubered over to Revolution, got a beer, and by that point, dude, I was like, I was feeling it. And I play volleyball Friday nights.
I was
Or
gonna say the astounding thing of the story is you talking about how you played volleyball last night, which is why we're doing the podcast this morning.
yeah,
so
so
like,
so
I'm
I'm
hungover from you drinking this. I couldn't play volleyball with that. So
so we get in the Uber, we get back. Um, we're just walking with a metric fuck ton of beer at this point, like, because I have the bag from Goose Island. My wife's got her leftovers from Cruz Blanca, and then I basically like I got like one of those like cardboard like pallet boxes just filled with beer from Revolution because we have a season ticket there, right? So we get like 3 4 packs um every like month or two for like the winter. I think we only have one more pickup in January, but so we get that, and then we get I picked up a 4 pack of um just like a lager I like, just to have for today because today I got some buddies coming over. So, and then on top of that, my wife really likes their Christmas beer, so she got and we had like $70 in rewards points from there. So I think we basically spent it all on to-go beer, or to-go beer and our pours while we were there. So, um, but yeah, so yeah, I get in the train. I get on the train. I pass out. I probably take like a solid like half hour nap on the train. I get home. We get home a little bit before 5, and um, I saw volleyballs at 7:30, and I'm like, all right, I got like 2.5 hours to like kind of sober up a little bit. So I didn't drink anything. My wife though, she doesn't she doesn't take a lot of just like random days off. Like most of the time she takes a day off like because she's got to do something or whatever. So like this was kind of like a random day off. Like we had no plans. So I think that kind of like attributed everything because she's like,
Yeah, I
well,
got you.
I'm not here, so like why don't or I don't have to work. Like,
Yeah,
why
you
don't we do this? Why don't we do that?
gotta get after it. Yeah.
So yeah, the we did the two or we did the three places, and so like she's like drinking a beer on the train on the way home. I'm like, I'm taking a nap. We get home, she crack up, dude. We get home, and I'm like, I forgot what I was doing. I think I was working on some maybe I was working on some Magic the Gathering stuff or whatever for today. I don't remember, but I was clicking around, doing something, and I turn around, and all of a sudden I see my wife eating a piece of pizza. I'm like, where did the pizza come from? We had been home for like a half hour, and she's like, "Well, I ordered it." So she like ordered a pizza in so she was living her best life yesterday.
Awesome.
So
Color.
I when I got home, I went out last night after volleyball, and I had a couple beers with the people I played with, and very light beers. And it sucked too because there was a Goose Island event, so they had all the Goose Island stuff on tap, and I was like, I'm gonna have a
Can't
pills, please.
can't do it. Yeah.
Um, but I get home and my wife is she's just like in bed, heavy blanket, watching a movie, just like happy as a pig and shit. Like she's just like sitting there and I'm like, I'm like, you had a good day. She's like, yes, I did. And so, but luckily I slept on the couch last night because I was like working on some stuff still for today and. She's a very light sleeper, so like if I gotta wake up early, I knew she's not getting up for another 2 hours, I bet. So I'm like, I'll sleep on the couch so that way I don't wake her up when I have to wake up and do this. But
Well, you're lucky you don't have kids because if you have kids, they do not give a shit about your schedule. So that's
no,
why
yeah,
I'm, day after Thanksgiving morning is 7:30 in the morning. You're like, oh, we got to catch the bus. It's like, kids, you can sleep in. No, we can't. So it's worse. It's worse than hangovers. They'll get you.
where is my? Oh, there it is. I was like, what? Like I was trying to find my PPs here, but yeah, we got a fun little pick three here. Um, race 8. It's a class 2 racing, the class 2 1,000 meter turf handicap. We're gonna be going 1,000 meters here. Um, I landed on what I think is probably gonna be your favorite in this race in the 2 Magic Control. Um, I just think that the races that this horse has run at 1,000 meters are just better than what anybody else has run. Um, he's kind of that tweener type of horse where he flips between class 1 and class 2, because I mean he's rated just over 100, and that tends to be the cutoff for class 2. But sometimes they run these 105 races, um, so instead of the 100 races. So this is kind of one of those, like I said, tweener races. But I just think he looks like the best on paper. Gets J Mac aboard, gets the right draw, drawn on the outside rail. And this is the horse that is won 2 of 3 in class 2. So um, I think he's just in the right spot here. Obviously coming out of that group company. So I try not to overthink this one. I think too many positives on this horse. I think briefly. I think he's like 3.5 to 1 right now. So you're getting about, I think he's like 4.8 or something on the win line. A lukewarm favorite, but I wouldn't be surprised if that price went down. But that's kind of where I landed here. I was, I really couldn't make heads or tails of kind of the rest of the field. I just thought this horse stood out enough that I'm just going to try and single here. Um, where did you land?
Yeah, I mean, same place. I'll actually tell a little bit of a story about Magic Control. Like, way back a couple years ago when I was, really starting to get into this, and I guess more than a couple years ago now because it's been a while. There was a guy on Twitter who used to post a lot. His tag was on the flat. He, I think, has since stopped posting. Maybe he stopped playing Hong Kong altogether, but he certainly doesn't post anymore. Um, he was a guy that actually, with this horse Magic Control, I'll never forget it. After like watching just a trial, basically said, "Hey, this horse doesn't like turning." Right? He looked at the action of the horse and said, "When you look at that horse on the turns, he's not built to be able to handle anything with a curve. So he is a consummate like flat race 1,000 meter horse. If you ever look at this horse at 1,200, he's not going to be able to do it. Here's why." And it was like super early on. It was after like a race and a trial. And obviously, like when you look at the record of this horse, it's really bared that out because this horse has only hit the board once, not running 1,000. Right? Like running 1,000, he's 7 for 7 hitting the board, 3 out of 7 wins. The rest of the races, he's like what? He has 1/3 out of 9 races, and that's it. And so, it always stuck out to me because of his ability to call things out like that and just have a skill set that I clearly do not have. Like, I have trouble looking at things like lead changes. I just can't pick that stuff up. I don't know what horses want to do all that well. Like, visually, it was just something that stuck out to me. And I'm kind of sad he stopped posting because he always had like amazing content, right? Like, he was one of the best handicappers I had, seen on the platform. I think he got frustrated because he went on a losing streak and just kind of stopped playing altogether. And that's how this game will kind of get you sometimes. Anyway, I mean, that's a long-winded way of saying, right? Like when you look at this horse's record, yeah, I mean, he's built for 1,000 meters. He's probably one of the best 1,000 meter horses throughout the ranks, even up into group company. And so in a class two, should just dominate this field, I would think, right? If he gets the right run. And it's 1,000 meter racing, so you never know. One bad break, one misposition, one, check into a horse, what have you. They all get magnified. So these 1,000 meter races kind of are gambling. But if you're going to gamble on this, right? Like, I mean, he should win this race. The only other horse that I went to the 13, I think as well. We Are Hero. Look, this horse is just getting a lot of weight in here, right? He's going off at 115. He's got Holly aboard, right? I mean, I would think, and this doesn't bear out in numbers, but at least I would think Holly is probably the most experienced straight rider in this colony, right? I mean, running in the UK, they have these straight, they have straight miles, they have straight, 5 furlong races. I mean, they have a lot, and so she knows how to find ground and pilot these things. I just think he's worth a long look, and I think you're ready to get a price on this. I do think he could move forward second up this season. Granted, coming straight up from class three, running against a horse that I think is one of the better like group company horses. There's a huge talent disparity there, but if you get the right price, maybe. So I'll probably use it as an A, just because of the price. I don't want to miss out on a bomb that I don't want to beat myself out here, but I mean, like I said, Magic Control should win this race. I'll play a little bit of We Are Hero as well, just in case.
Cool. Race 9, the Class 3 1,200 turf handicap. 1,200 meters here, Class 3 racing. What did you land here?
So, I mean, speaking of things that I'm bad at, I think the couple horses I went to in this race are the couple of horses that I generally hate betting because I don't know what to do with them, right? And that's the 6 Super Strong Kid and the 12 Lightness of Music. It's just these horses that like they look really good in class 4 running 1,000 meters. Um, and then they move up and they handle the turn a little bit well, but not all that well enough. They adjust off of that. I don't know. You don't know if like a horse is going to take too much money. Like specifically the 6 Super Strong Kid, I think those 1,000 meter races should dominate this field. But obviously he didn't win last out. Showed pretty well last out. Gets Zach in this race over the 12, where I think Zach was riding the 12 as well previously to this. I don't know. Is this horse going to take too much money? Probably. Does he still have more ability than the rest of this field? Probably. I don't know. It's just one of those things that I have no idea if these horses are built to run 1,200 or if they're just pure 1,000 meter horses or if they're class 4 horses. I don't know. I'm just going to go with both of them because I don't think anything else in this field really stands out to me. And so I do think if I think these horses are pretty even. I haven't checked the actual odds on this. I know we are doing Saturday morning, so I could. I just hadn't. I do think Lightness of Music maybe is a little bit more appealing to me just because I think you'll get a better price. I do think you get a little bit of a, I guess he has the same weight as last out, but he gets a decent draw. was he compromised by the bad draw last time for 1,000 meters where you want to kind of be on that outer rail? Maybe he bled last time out. Does he recover a little bit off of that? Maybe, hopefully. So he's had a little bit of a layoff here. I don't know. It's I think worth a shot if you get the right price on this horse. So I'll be 612 as A's. And then I think I'll take a flyer on the 7 as well. Just like I said, this isn't the strongest field in the world to me. So, Mark Newnham doesn't usually have horses ready to go first up. I think he's like, he hits it under 5%. He's like 3 for 65. But I do think if you look at the last like all weather trial, did show some late ability, showed some, ability to kind of pass horses. And if you have a horse that at least shows it can pass, I think that's one of the biggest things looking at these horses first up, right? Like, one thing to have a speedball that just runs a nice time, the other to kind of say, hey, look, he's making up ground on an entire field. So I'll take a shot. I don't think, he's by any means like a super strong play, but just as a B, I don't know. I don't want to get burned on a firster in here when I don't think, like I said, this is the strongest of fields. So 612 is A's, 7 is B's. This is kind of my race. I just kind of hope to get through.
Yeah, I agree with you on the 6. I mean, the 6 obviously looks like the class of the field. I mean, you get Zach aboard, you get the rail. You have a horse that has handled the turn. I mean, we were talking last race about the two magic control. Uh, right? He had one. I think he had one race at 1,000 at Happy Valley, which has a turn, unlike at Sha Tin, and he ran off the board. I think some of these horses can take a turn, some can't. Um, so the 6 is at least shown like, hey, he finished second in that race. Now he gets a better draw. I think he was a little green and keen in that last race. So I do think, if Zach's able to get the horse to relax, I think, he's going to be tough to beat in here. I actually also like the 6 or the 5 Alpha Strike. Um, this was the other one, right? Coming off a win, won by a neck. Um, did have a slight outside draw and I think did kind of ride that outside rail a little bit to win that straight race. You're getting second up here. Um, this is the first time this horse is going around the turn, so you have some questions. But that last race fit in pretty well with what the 6s run, and obviously second up and second time in Hong Kong. You're thinking, hey, maybe we're going to see a step forward. This is a horse that's got one win overseas as well, right? This is a horse that was 1 for 1 before shipping over here to Hong Kong, and so this is a 2 for 2 horse. So there's clearly some talent there. Um, so I there's not much value there because you're getting basically second choice, I think, on the 5. Um, but I think at last I saw was kind of in that 4 to 5 to 1 range. The 12 lightens the music. I had the horses to beat. I'm right there with you. I was a little concerned about two things. One, obviously the bleeding episode last time out. Two, obviously Zach off. Um, but this is a horse that was well bet in both of his first 2 starts, and you know finished 8th that last time, after the bleeding episode. Has been up for about 2.5 months coming back here. Guess Matthew Chadwick, who has been off to a bit of a slow start. I think he's winning at about like 6 or 7%. Um, but right, this horse is drawn well. Um, going a turn for the first time, and that first race, I mean, does fit in with what the other horses are running, and you're getting like 2 or 3 times the price. I think last I saw was like 12 to
He's
1,
he's
15
sitting
to
at like
1.
15 to 1 right now, I
Yeah.
think. So something like
So
that.
so I'll take a shot on a horse like that, right? Especially like I said, especially coming off the bleeding. Um, you kind of cross the line through that race. Right. And if this was a race where this horse was second up, after that race, I mean, I think this horse is taking a lot more money. So I think you're getting a little bit of value there. Um, I'm with you. Like if those odds held, I mean, that's definitely like win bet territory. So, and race 10, we got the 1,600-meter turf handicap, um, class 3 racing here, and I went. I was going back and forth. I think I'm going back with Pope Cody as my top pick in this race. Um, this is a horse, obviously. Jimmy Orman's been riding for the last what, like 6 or 7 times. He's ridden this horse
Yep.
the last 9 times actually. And yeah, I think he really showed something. Three back. Was able to win by a head there, and then back that effort up really nicely. In that race two back. Last time, I think he just kind of had a little bit of a trip. He was also drawn out in the eight post. He was drawn a little bit outside, but he's getting back to that inside draw, right? He's drawn back in the three post. So I do expect to get a much better effort than when you got last time with this better draw here. And Jimmy Orman, he had a very rough start. I believe Pope Cody was his first win back there at the end of September. But I'm guessing if he's probably closer to like 10% the last month and a half versus what he was, to start to me because he had a big over streak I know. So he's been riding a little bit better here. So I do like Pope Cody in this spot. Um, I think Dazzling Fit. Um, if it weren't for the post, I think I'd probably be a lot more interested in. This is a horse that's got a number of or he's got two wins here at Hong Kong. And those two wins, the efforts in those wins look very, very strong compared to the rest of this field. Granted, they were both in class four, but um, you get J-Mac aboard, right? You're stretching the horse out for the first time. Right, this is a horse that they've kind of brought along kind of slowly, right? Starting at the 1200, moving up, slightly adding distance. And we've talked about this before. For a lot of these horses, this is the goal. The 1600-meter one turn mile, right? Like that's the Sha Tin race, right? So I think the fact that they've been kind of bringing this horse along slowly, and now, hey, they get to the 1600 race and they ask J Mac to ride. So um, I'd be interested to see what price you're going to get on this horse. But I definitely thought that he was one that I was very interested in here. And then the other one is the five, Yuan Long Elite. Um, this is another horse that's got a win at 1600 meters. Um, and in four starts. Some of the other efforts, I mean, the horse has kind of gone backwards a little bit since those two, or since that win. One was that Pope Cody race that we talked about a little bit before. Um, but you get Holly Doyle aboard, so you get a jock switch here. Um, and the outside post, I mean, obviously don't love it, but this horse's lone win was coming from the 14 post. So, um, I think maybe this is a horse that can overcome that post a little bit. Has come down in weight a little bit, right? It's, down 2 pounds from the high weight that this horse was at. I mean, we'll see what price there is, but that one win that this horse has definitely fits in with the rest of the field. So I'll take a shot there with the five. So those are my three horses in here. I'm going to use the three Pope Cody, the five Yuan Long Elite, and the seven Dazzling Fit.
So I agree with you on Pope Cody. Pope Cody's a horse that I've bet a fair bit before. I think if you looked at this horse, and I don't know if your stuff goes back far enough, but um, he kind of had a horrific start of draws to like start his career. Like he was one of those horses that just never got drawn inside the 10 post for the first like six races. And then since then, he's kind of had a very good run of draws. Um, yeah, starting with, I think his last like four races or so, he finally got drawn inside the 10. And he's run well. I think that last race specifically to me stands out on paper as like, hey, maybe this horse moved forward a little bit. He'll obviously need to be closing like super late. I do think that was kind of a blanket finish race, right? Like he finished fifth last out and was like within a length at the finish, which is, hey, elite handicap racing. Um, And for anyone who watched Happy Valley on Wednesday, you saw there were about 6 races where like 8 horses were within a length of each other at the finish. It was just like an insane run of noses on the line there. But anyway, yeah. So Pope Cody, I think, is by all means has a right to win this race. I think you're getting the right price on this horse. I am concerned that he's going to have to close from too far back. But I do agree with you. I'm still going to use him as an A. Same on Dazzling Fit. I mean, this horse, if he wasn't breaking from the 14 post, I think would be a huge fit. I do wonder the price you get. I think last I checked, he was sitting at around 7-1. So I don't know if that's the right price from out there. I might say, hey, just kind of toss if you're getting that second, third choice. But TBD. I mean, I do think that he has ability, and if anyone's going to work a post or a trip from the 14 post, it's going to be J-Mac. He obviously started heating up a little bit on Wednesday, so I think he finally woke up. My top pick in here, though, is actually going to be a horse you didn't mention, and it's the 12 Blazing Wukong. I think there's a lot of reasons to like this horse, except for Etzeny's riding. He isn't one of those reasons, but everything else, right? Like, I think this horse was first up in Class 3 last out, closed into a really slow pace at 1,400. Got to drop 2 pounds because he finished sixth in a blanket finish. Like, I think he was half a length off at the end, but still, because of the sixth place finish, gets an extra 2 pounds moving down. Because if you finish below fifth, I think you automatically move down in rating, if I remember correctly. Gets a good draw, unlike the last two. Should appreciate the increase in distance. And I think, oh, by the way, Ricky Yu running back in a week like he has like a $3.15 ROI. He's just over 9% doing that. And so he tends to run him back when he thinks the horses are live. So I do think, look, this horse is probably going to take some money because everyone's going to see these same things. I think last I checked, he was sitting around 4-1, but I do think this horse, kind of looks like the one who's primed to win in here. And just finally has all those circumstances kind of adding up for him. And I think will run really well. So Blazing Wukong is going to be my top pick in here. One other horse that I did want to go to, and for no other reason than just one of those, hey, maybe, and probably will slot in instead of Dazzling Fit if I play it this way. I did look at the 4-6 pack a fair bit. Something in here that you don't see too much is a horse that starts up in Class 2, right? Like, it happens, but it's pretty rare to see a horse, kind of begin his career in Hong Kong up in Class 2 and run 2 races and kind of run respectably, right? Like, first up in Hong Kong at Happy Valley was what, like a couple lengths off, a 1,200-meter race, drawn average. Laid up for about a year after November. I did not look into why that was. But it's kind of getting back started here, as of October, ran 2 in October, is kind of finally back up. I just don't know what this horse is aiming towards. You mentioned kind of working up towards distance. You see that this horse probably started that, took a year off. Now, kind of has that, okay, started at 1,200, moved up to 1,400, is going to go to 1,600. And this is a race that, like you said, hey, running a mile should be the kind of premier distance and what everyone wants to do in Hong Kong. It's a weird race, though, because I don't think any of these horses really want a mile. If you look at it, a lot of these horses don't have a win at a mile and have some pretty significant runs out there. And just, I don't really know who wants this distance. Like, you get a lot of horses that are like 0 for 4, 0 for 9. There's a fair bit of horses that either haven't tried the distance or just kind of don't seem to want to run it. So I don't know. We'll see. I think he's worth a shot. I think he's worth a flyer just based on the fact that this horse probably has some ability. I think he's still kind of coming into his own. So I'll play the 4-6 back as a B. But like I said, I think my main win play in here will be through the 12 Blazing Wukong.
Nice. Where did you go for your bonus bet?
I went to race 7, Class 2 race. So
okay, where'd you end up here?
So speaking of which, I think this is another race that you just have a lot of horses that really don't look like they want a mile, and I don't know who in here does. And the horse I picked probably doesn't want a mile either in all this. But I went to the 11 Chu Chow Spirit. Distance is going to be a question, and but I do think this horse has been running pretty well. Running on pretty late, and I think could take the distance because of that. Like, if you look at a horse that's closing in like that, I think that's always a horse that I at least want to say, okay, you extend out. Maybe that horse has a little more energy left in the tank and needs that kind of extra 200 meters. And so, between that, I think the only other horse in here who really wants a mile is Honglock Golf, and I have to assume Honglock Golf is going to be favored in here, and he'll be short. So there's not a horses that want to win this distance. There's a couple of lifetime loser horses in here, horses like Steps Ahead and Mickley that just don't like winning. And so you add all that up, I think this is the horse in here that looks like he's due for a win. And I think Holly can probably pilot this horse in for a win. So, hopefully you get a little bit of a price, but I think I'll play Choo Chow Spirit in here. And hopefully, kind of get that horse that has been able to kind of navigate down and wait just because of a couple of bad circumstances and really kind of want to take the mile.
Yeah, I thought the 4 Steps Ahead was a little interesting, just because Zach's
that horse hates winning though.
I know, but
that horse really hates winning.
But that horse has had Zach twice and has got a first and a second in the 2 times that Zach's ridden him. So, I don't know if it's Zach, or I don't know if Zach is weaseling his way in when the horse is fresh, but. Yeah, I thought he was a little bit interesting.
I'm gonna actually outsmart myself because I actually looked at the odds right now, and Honglock Golf, who I thought was gonna be really short, is like 7-1. So I might just bet Honglock.
Yeah, he's favored on the place line though, so I feel like
it's gonna come down for sure.
Yeah, because like the same thing, right? Like my top pick, my kind of bet of the day is gonna be race 6, the all weather race. Mr. Energia, coming up here, a kind of an all-weather specialist. It seems like he's kind of turned into here. Matthew Poon riding, but this is a horse that I think has a pretty distinct pattern, where he kind of regresses after like a good start, and he definitely regressed last time. So I expect him to kind of bounce back here in this race. The fact that Zach's not aboard is actually probably a good thing, because I think you're going to probably get a better price with Matthew Poon aboard. Matthew Poon has ridden this horse 3 times, and he's ridden. It's been fine, right? A second, third, and a fourth in the 3 rides, right? So, I looked. This is the same thing. Favorite on the place line. I think currently sitting at 7-1, but. Yeah, I really like him in this spot. I think the form pattern's pretty distinct. He's coming into the right part of the form pattern, so I do think that Mr. Energy is going to be worth a bet in this spot, especially because I looked at this race and I don't know, there wasn't a whole lot. Maybe probably the 6 Blazing Wind's gonna. I could probably see that horse maybe being your favorite, but this is the point where I ask you for odds or for stats. Right off the bat, what's J-Mac on all weather?
Give me a second. J-Mac on all weather. Who's he on in here? He is on
6.
J-Mac, I have him running 1200 on all weather. He is 0 for 7 on 1200 at all weather.
Yeah,
0%. So, three places. So. There you go. Well, so what we got 6, 7. We got the late pick 3. All you got to do is handicap race 5, and theoretically you'd be what, 1 leg from a pick 6. Whenever we get that, we're supposed to be getting that soon, right? At AM Wager.
Shout out to all the Zoomers and Zennials. We're hitting them with the 6, 7. So shout out to them. Where's the?
I don't fit in the screen anymore on this layout. Anyway, I'll zoom out.
There
it is.
Dude, so the other day someone was doing that, and you know what went into my head? Major League.
With the
you have no marbles. Marbles. And I'm like,
I'll start doing that instead. My kids will say 6, 7. I'll just I'll be like, "What are you doing, Dad?"
Oh God. Oh man.
What a great movie. I'm gonna go watch that now.
That's going to do it for us here, and you've got to be Sha Tin. Check us out at onthewronglead.com, at wrong_lead on Twitter. I am at Cherry Drink. He is at Slow and Steady. Check out our friends at DRF. They have their Black Friday sale going on right now. Check out our friends at AM Wager. I think I got $20 from Zach winning the race last week, so I got some money to fire tonight.
They're still running that bet 20 get 30 back if Zach wins a race. So free money, get your free money.
Yeah, check out Matt's picks at Slow and Steady. Make sure check those out, and have a good weekend, guys. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving. Let's make some money.